Hello, my name is Joanne Cornell and I'm from A Rose's Creations. I am here to do a video on needles and thread, needles for now, and needle threaders and stuff like that. Let me just get into some of the stuff that you might need. Okay, so the difference between some of the needles. And then also I got pins too, so I want to show you some different pins. So that way you'll know the difference between pins too. And then, okay, so needles. You have regular sewing needles, which look like this. So that's a regular sewing needle, except for this is a pretty good size one. It's a big one, but I wanted to be able to show you on a video. So what you would do, you take the needle and you put the thread in that little hole right there. Okay, so, oh, that helps you see it. All right, so there you go, right? Well, I'm going to show you a big one so you'll be able to see even better now if you don't have good eyes. Now, this one is an upholstery one. I believe that one was an upholstery one too, but this is an upholstery one. So now you can see the head, the needle right there. Let me see if I can do it this way. Yep, see, that's the hole where you put the thread in. These are upholstery needles too. So you can use these for upholstery or you can use them for leather. So that's what I'll be doing too, because I had bought these when I was doing canvas. And I was sewing canvas sails for people by hand. I was doing canvas sails, which go on a sailboat. And I was doing some mending on that, and so that's what I used that for. So I have those threads, those needles. I have also smaller needles, very tiny needles like this. This one has a big size head for it though, so it's the needle hole is pretty good size. I think I can, yeah, it goes all the way up here to all the way down there. So it's up here to here on that needle. So it's a good size hole. That's for somebody that's blind like me. And I have about 4 or 5 of them. And then these are push pins. Push pins you end up taking and putting in the material, and you end up, so you can tack the material together, and that way you can have 2 layers and they're not going to be moving around, and you will end up being able to, sorry, I'm trying to, you'll be able to put 2 layers together. Now these are cushions for needles, so you can put these on here. So this way, if I was doing a dress or something, or if I was hemming something and I wanted to put the needles in here, I could put the needles in there, because it's not going to go to my arm as long as I go straight. I can't go sideways. I got to go straight, because I'm going to hit that band that's right here, and that's going to work. They also have some that you can put them on the sewing machine, which I've never seen before, but I think that's a cool idea. The only thing with that is I would definitely make sure that there was some kind of plate underneath it. So make a plate that goes into this pillow, even if it's like 3 pieces of cardboard that go into the pillow on the bottom side, so that way when the needle goes through, it doesn't hit the machine, because that was the thing that they were complaining about. So it's like, no, don't do that, Make it like this, that has a band underneath it, so that way it doesn't go through. These are pin cushions too. These are called the tomatoes. So there's a bunch of them. We used to end up doing it in an oatmeal container, because the oatmeal containers were round. And what we did was make a ball with stuffing in it. We made a little round ball, and we ended up doing the same thing as this, but we put it inside of the carton. It was a round cotton, so you put it on the inside of the cotton. So on the inside of the cotton, it was just there, and that was a little fin holder. It stayed there. It didn't go anywhere. With these, they can roll around if you're not or something, but that's fine. These right here, these little things are actually to sharpen. They have sort of like Brillo and aluminum foil in there in order to sharpen the needles, which I didn't know for the longest time, but I found out. And most of the times when you find these, you end up finding them without this little piece, because they always fall off. But I got lucky, and I got 2 of them that have that piece on there. So, needle threaders. Needle threaders are, well, grandma's. They changed them from grandma's. Thank God, because these things are a pain in the you-know-what. to do. So you take this thing and it goes through the needle head, which is on the sewing machine. So here's the sewing machine and here's the needle head, because the needle head's on the bottom of this thing, and then you put it through the, like this. Then you take the thread and you put it through that little wire. There's a little wire right there. See that little wire? It's shiny, right? You'll be able to realize what I'm talking about in a minute. So you put the thread through that. When you put the thread through that, like so, now you pull this out and it goes through the hole of the needle. So that's your thread. So your needle is threaded on the machine, okay? Just like I said, make believe this is a needle for a machine. I'm not going to do a needle for a machine, because a needle for a machine, the hole is too small, and it's going to take me a little while in order to thread it. So I'm trying to show you with the bigger ones. So these are one. These break so fast, it's unbelievable. They're cheap, but they're throwaways, and they're just, like I said, they just don't work that great. So I ended up checking out a couple other ones, because one of my machine has an automatic threader, I think, and then the rest of them don't. Yes, the rest of them don't. It's only one of my machines that have the automatic threader on it. The automatic threader on it. I'm still like, I get it once in a while, but sometimes I don't. And so it's just easier for me to sit there and either thread it by myself or to actually use one of the other threaders that I have, the good ones. So I do that instead. But it's definitely an option, and I'm hoping to learn it sooner, because I did do it on another machine. Amy let me borrow a machine, and I ended up doing it on her machine, and I did it easy. And then when I try to do it on my machine, it's not working. So I don't know if it's just mine isn't working or if I'm doing it wrong still. It took a while to get it on her machine, so now I'm still going to try it on this machine, but I'm getting frustrated, so I don't bother right now. So what I did anyways is I ended up taking and putting a straw on my machine. So I have a straw on the side. Let me show you really quick what it is I'm talking about, so you'll know. I have a straw on the side, and so what I did is I just put the needle threader in there, and I bought a bunch of them. So I have a bunch of them, and they're all going to go on each one of the machines. It's going to have one of these, so that way I'm not having to mess around anymore. So I still got to show you the sewing machine needle. So I'm going to put that over here really quick so I can remember to do that. So this one has a piece of plastic on it, and then it has the wire that is going up and down, and it has a hole in it, and then you put it through the needle, and then you do the same thing. You just sit there and push a little bit on this, and you're gonna get a bigger hole here. And when you get a bigger hole here, you're gonna take, I'll show you that way, like this way. I did it, widened it a little bit more. See how it's a little wider? On here, I think you'll be able to see it. Okay, there you go. Yep, see how it's wider? Now you take the thread and you put it through that little hole, and then when you pull it out through like that again, the thread's going to be to the needle. Then you take and put this little protector back on there so you don't break it. And then I'm going to stick it back into the straw. Okay, this one cost me, I think it was like $8 for one of them. Okay, and I ended up buying a bunch of them for $9, I think it was. And I got a whole shitload of them. So I got like, I think it's 10 of them in here. And so it was like $1 each for these. They're a little tangled. Whoop, that one did come out by itself like that. Okay, good. And this one is for, definitely great for a grandma for sure. Because you're just going to take this and put this right through the needle. I mean, it's easy to put through the needle. Even the smaller ones, it's easy to put right through the damn needle. And now you have all of this to be able to put your thread through. If you can't put your thread through that, don't sew. You know, because that just ain't going to work for you. Okay, so then these, and then the same thing I did with these is I took and put straw holders in the machines, and I'm going to take, it's all it is just a straw tape to the machine. I'm going to take these and put these in here, so that way they're going to protect these little wire things, and I'm going to have one on each machine, so that way I'm not having to mess around with that. I did buy this little threader also. This thread is kind of cool too. So this is a threader that has a little tape measure on there too. It has a little for the seams, and then it also has a magnet on the back, so you can magnetic it to the plate, and you can figure out what size seam you want, an inch, a quarter of an inch seam, and then that'll guide the material. So you're guiding the material between the needle and the thread, so it's keeping it consistently that distance away from the needle. It does have a seam ripper too. I did show this in the other video, but I'm going to show in this video too, because this is the part that I want to show you, which is the threader. So that threader, you can't see it, okay? But what it has is a little piece of metal, and then it has a simple little itty bitty notch in there. So when you take this and you put this through the thread holder, which I can't even, okay, so you go, all right? Now you take the thread and you hook the thread onto it like this. And there you go. Okay, see, there is a little hook in there. It's not that big. You can't see it really, but it's there. And then that threads it. So I even got those, and I'm putting those on the machine just this way I'll have it, so I'm not having to thread stuff. All right, let's talk about protecting your fingers when you're actually doing some hand sewing, because hand sewing needles are the same thing as the upholstery needles, except for that they just have no way to attach them to the machine. It's just a needle on head on one side, and then the threading part on this side. The eye of the needle is on that side. So when you take the thread and you're going to thread it through, I'm going to use this one still anyways. You go to thread it through, right? You got it all threaded through, and then you start sewing in the material, and let's say the material's hard and it doesn't go through all the way. Well, usually you got to take and put a little bit more pressure. When you put a little bit more pressure, you're going to sit there and sometimes stab your damn finger. So we use these, which are thimbles. So this is a thimble. It's a normal traditional thimble. You take that and then you go like this and then hit the metal, so that way you're not going to end up hurting yourself. We also use this one. This is an older fashioned one, type 1. And all it is a piece of leather. And leather here. And then this is just an elastic, little piece of elastic to hold it on your finger. And now you sit there and you do this. And it doesn't go through the leather. Okay, so you can even make these yourself if you wanted to, just a couple pieces of leather in order to protect your fingers. This is also flexible too with this thing. You got to take it, put it on there, you do it, then take it off. With this, you can kind of keep it on there until you're done sewing the whole project, because it's flexible and you can move it around and use your fingers too. I also have this, which has a little light on it. This one died now. But it had a light on it, and it's also a magnifying glass. So that way I can sit there and just go like this, and I can look and see the needle hole better in case I need to see that. So that's sewing that. Now I am going to show you sewing needles. Sewing needles. This one is 10/16. These are universal needles. These are universal needles. I bought a bunch of these in different packs, different ways, so that way I could sit there. Universal. I also have some denim. There's some more threaders, because like I said, they were throwaways. This is another threader actually, which is a bigger one. I thought that was cool. It's much better than the first with the little itty bitty metal ones, which, like I said, they die quick. And then these are Singers. These are Singer Universal, but they got the denim. They have all the different sizes in here. So there's denim in here, and then there's different sizes. So I did get those too. So I got Singer scissors. I got the Schweitz scissors. SCHMETZ Schmetz. Needles in there, and I have Brother needles in here too somewhere. So Brother Schmitz denim, And then this is a little holder for some regular sewing thread, sewing needles, assorted sewing needles. I have those. And then I'm going to show you bobbins. So bobbins are not all the same. And actually there is some different ones which I don't have in here, which go for my treadle machine. And also my treadle machine and my industrial. I have a Singer industrial machine. So 1900s on that one. Yeah, like early 1900s, like 1930 something, I think. I'm not sure exactly when. I have to find out. Not all bobbins are the same. Plastic ones are different weight and diameter. Sometimes they're different heights than others too. Depends on what machine is using, which one you're going to use on that machine. Always check with the one that you have. Make sure it's the same height. Make sure it's the same material. And make sure it's the same width. The one that's in this Brother, I believe, is metal. Oh, nope, that's the plastic one. So that's the plastic one I had right there in my hand for the Brother machine, which I just unthreaded it, put on my hands. There we go. The U10 uses the metal one. U-T-E-N is a kind. It was $200 on Amazon. Very good machine. It's comparable to my Brother that I have, which is a Brother. Let me see what the numbers on that one. It's a Brother VX810. VX810. I got it back in the frickin' 80s. Late 80s, mid 80s to late 80s, and I've had it ever since. It's just, but like I said, see, this one is not as thick as this one. Like that one's shorter. Both made out of metal, both have the same amount of holes. Well, no, this one has bigger holes, this one has smaller holes, so it's different weights, it's different everything. So this is a machine ain't going to go on to this machine, and this one ain't going to go on to that machine. Make sure you don't make that mistake. If you do, you're going to end up with problems. Same thing with this one too. So this one too is, they both look like they're the same. They're both plastic, but one of them is a little bit thinner than the other. So it's probably less heavier than the other. So those are different machines. So I even have little holders. In here, I am doing all cotton. So I have all my cotton threads in here. And I have that big spool, that black one. And then this is what I'm putting cotton bobbins in. So no regular bobbins go in there, just cotton. This one here is going to be with all the regular polyester. It also even has threads in it itself already. And I have a whole bunch of bobbins in there. Those are for the other machines, depending on which one. Like I said, they're all different. And so I have them categorized by the type of bobbin they are. I know which ones are which. Of course, some of them are doing their own thing over here. But I always double check anyways. And then here's some of the threads that I can use for bobbins also. Oops, I'll put that one back in there too, why don't I? Okay. So that takes care of that. So I think I got the needles and threads. Make sure when you're using the sewing machine to make sure that you got the right needle for the right thing. There is different sizes of needles for different things. So the Singer 9014 and the 116 are going to be for denim. And then the 6012 is probably for like silk and satin and nylon and rayon. Polyester is going to be the 80. So it's 80, 42, or 14 and 12. So, you know what I mean? Like you find out which needle goes better. And then also use Singer for Singer, Brother for Brother. And then if it's universal, then you can use it for whichever ones you want. Make sure that you have a flat side and there's a round side to the needle. So when you put in the needle in, make sure you put the flat side towards the back of the sewing machine. So you'll not see the flat side of it. It'll only be the round part of it that you'll feel in the front. And then you put it in all the way up, and then you end up doing the thread, doing the needle screw, and it'll end up holding it in there. Okay, that'll be showed to you in another video too, because I'll be doing a video on that, showing you exactly how to put thread. I also have this thing, which I think is cool. I use this for my soldering and my all sorts of my other crafts too, but it's just a flashlight. And so this way I can put it on my forehead, and if I'm looking at something and I can't see it well, I can sit there and do that. It also goes down, so I can do this, and I can see what I'm doing on the sewing machine. So, really like this thing. Also, if I take a walk in the woods or something, I can have my hands free. I used to go mushrooming and stuff, or just taking a walk in the woods. And this way I can use that. Alrighty, toolboxes is going to be next. So I'm going to be doing toolboxes. There you go. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. I hope this was educational. I hope this was educational. Share, like, watch, do Patreon if you can afford it. If you can, help me out. If not, just enjoy the videos and learn something and get some kind of enjoyment out of, sorry, my cameras, and get some kind of enjoyment in sewing, because it is fun. It's frustrating sometimes, but it is fun too. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.